Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. He is Jimmy the Bag, and this is the 6 o'clock show that we do every day where we review our picks, we look at the interesting line moves, we take a look at the upcoming slate of college basketball, and maybe add some other bets onto whatever it is that we have already given. I'm looking for the link to this friggin' show. Is this show live? How do I find the link to this show? Trying to get so that I can get the there we go. Okay, clicking on it right now. All right, so Jimmy the Bag, a huge slate of games. I have tweeted out a bunch of college basketball plays already. One of them, it's just like it's a typical situation. The picks that I didn't tweet out wound up cashing easily. So then I was like, all right, I got to tweet out these picks. And then I tweeted out UMKC, and that one's looking iffy, although not a loser. I tweeted out Richmond under. That one is looking pretty good. And in the at 6:30 Eastern time, you know that shootout in Anchorage, Alaska they have every year?
Yeah.
It's a wacky series. Yeah. There is a couple of picks that I tweeted out that look good on paper. I wasn't able to do my deep research, so I don't know if there's injuries involved, but I did like the under, and I do like Central Michigan minus 1.5. Tweeted both of them out, bet both of them out, and I didn't do my deep research on it, but I did do a little bit. I did my numbers research at least. You know, the problem with doing your only numbers research is that if there's injury issues or guys out, you don't know about it. You know what I mean?
It's tough. But I like the Central Michigan spot.
Yeah. All right. So let's review the picks that we gave already this week. This morning. Jimmy the Bag. Let's see. What were the picks that you gave? Let me see. What did you give?
Are we talking NHL?
No, just overall.
I gave 9 NBA picks. Mm-hmm. I gave the Wizards Hornets under. Mm-hmm. I gave the Hornets -2. I gave the Sixers -4. I gave the Atlanta money line at +123. Mm-hmm. I gave the Heat money line at +127.
That's right.
I gave the Wolves -7. I gave the Rockets -10.5. I gave the Mavs money line +205. And the Lakers Kings under 207.
That's right. And I gave Minnesota first half. We'll see where that line moved. The Dallas Memphis under. Phoenix +6. Chicago first half +5. Brooklyn Cleveland under 228.5. And Orlando Minnesota under 217. Washington Charlotte 209. So let's move on to the NBA and check some of these line moves. So the line moves in the NBA. The big line move, of course, is Phoenix. I gave it at 6. Jimmy the Bag. I bet it at 6. It's now down to 2 or 1.5. So is someone out, or is that just huge money on Phoenix? Did you know? Did you check?
Yeah, I'll check right now.
No, you don't have to check. I'm just
I'd like to know because that was a huge move that should be figured out.
Yeah, either which way is
wow.
Either which way is it doesn't matter.
And Antetokounmpo will not play.
Wow, that's only worth 4 points or 4. That's only worth
Wow, what a score!
And I gave Phoenix at plus. I should have given him on the money line.
Patrick Beverley done for the year.
Oh, shit. Wow. So the Greek Freak going down is only 4 points. I guess how many points are you going to give him? I guess, yeah. It's just they have so many other injuries. All right, well, I gave Phoenix earlier this morning. Anyone who totally got a great line, I bet it. Should have given him on the money line, and one of my leans was also on the first half, which is probably still a pretty good bet, or even the first quarter. Sometimes teams do bounce back when a star goes down like that, but in this case, it's just Milwaukee has a bunch of other injuries, and there's the Bledsoe. It's just like the perfect storm, and that's before Greek Freak wasn't playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got him in a great spot. I love that John Collins has been announced as a power forward for the Hawks. Mm-hmm. I think that's a really nice spot. My Sixers bet looks nice. The starting lineup: Simmons, Redick, Covington, Saric, and Embiid.
Mm-hmm. The other bet that I wanted to make that I didn't give, that was a lean in that Phoenix game, was I wanted to give the Phoenix team total over, which was 108. I did add that to my leans category, to my leans bunch of plays here, but I didn't give that one officially. But that feels like, when Phoenix wins, they ramp up the scoring, right?
They do.
So I'm thinking about adding on the Phoenix team total over as a play. Let's see. What are some of the other notable line moves here in the NBA? Let's just see. Washington, Charlotte, no move at all on that one. Didn't you took Philly -4, right?
Yes, I did.
That line's moved down a little bit. That's now 4 or 3.5. So that's slightly concerning. Let's see. The Miami line, still an underdog, but headed a little bit in Miami's favor. Mm-hmm. Interestingly, wow, Atlanta is what were they this morning? They were like 2.5, weren't they?
Yes, I got him on the money line at plus one. What did I get?
123. Well, now a
123.
little bit. I mean, not that it means anything, but line has moved a little bit in the Clippers' direction. No movement on the Toronto-New York game. No movement at all on the Minnesota game. The Spurs-San Antonio game is very interesting. Very slight, but to my eye, significant movement in favor of San Antonio. It was +2. Now it's down to +1. Is that stupid money? I don't know. That sounds like sharp money to me.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Also, Denver, you took them at 10.5. It opened 9.5. You took them at 10.5. It's now down to 10.5 to 9.5. The Greek is still holding at 10, so that's kind of in your favor. The Greek has a lean to Houston at 9.5, so that's kind of nice. Dallas spread has not moved at all. Chicago spread has not moved at all, and that's about it. The Brooklyn Cleveland game, I gave it at 228.5. It's now down to 227.5, which is kind of nice to see, I guess. We both gave Washington Charlotte at under 209. That's now down to 208. Or 207.5, but the Greek has 208.5. The Greek has a lean to the over. I can understand why that movement would happen. Just a lot of people saying this looks too obvious. So that one still makes me a little bit nervous. Slight chance I'll pull it. The Dallas-Memphis game, wow. Another one. I gave it at under 197.5. It's now way up to 199.5 or 200 now in the Dallas-Boston game. We saw the exact same kind of movement, and God damn it, I was right. Kind of. It went under in regulation, but then it went to OT, so maybe someone really knew something. You gave the under in the Lakers-Sacramento game, which has gone a slight move in your favor. It's now 206.5, although again on that one as well, the Greek has 207. Lean to the over on that one, and that's about it. I also gave the under in the Orlando-Minnesota game, which hasn't moved, and that's about it. I was also thinking about the Clippers under 209, and also the Clippers team total under, although I am concerned that the Clippers line has moved up a little bit. What's your take on anything from the NBA card that is a little bit different or more noteworthy than what you saw this morning, Jim?
I think you just nailed it. I mean, the Greek Freak being out is big. I'm very happy with the John Collins move to power forward. I think him and Dedmon are a nice duo, and I love the 1 to 3 there. So I think that if this starting 5 keeps rolling, Atlanta can give us value moving forward. I'm excited that the money's gone on the Heat. That makes me feel good. And I love having these 3+ money lines. I think it just makes for a very exciting evening.
Yeah, definitely. A very exciting evening. And all right. So some of the leans that I was thinking about adding on here, definitely thinking about the Phoenix team total under, which is 108 in the morning. Definitely, the over 108. The Clippers under 106, which is 106 in the morning. I was thinking about throwing on like the Miami and Atlanta first halves, and also thinking about throwing on the Clippers Atlanta under 209. The Clippers have not been scoring recently, but do you think that's anomalous? Or do you think there's something fundamental to them? And what's your take on Atlanta? They're a team that doesn't play much defense, or do they?
I like their defense. I like their length. I like their athleticism, and I think that the Clippers are going to have more and more problems moving forward because they don't have distributors. We were expecting a lot out of Patrick Beverley. Now he's gone for the season. There's problems brewing in LA.
Well, Patrick Beverley, though, was a big defensive force for the Clippers, so maybe that has a little bit that's a little bit of a reason not to take the under. I'm definitely leaning under there. My leans are under, Clippers team total under, and Phoenix team total over. What do you think, Jim? Should I add any of those?
Your lines or your leans are really strong.
Usually pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's quickly go, and why don't you look at while I bring up the Pinnacle team totals here for NBA? Why don't you look at the comments and see if anyone is commenting? Because yesterday on the show, everyone talked me into taking Towson, which was a winner. Everyone talked me into taking St. Louis, which was a winner. If I hadn't been talked into them, I would have just given them as leans and then come back the next day and been like, God, I just have no balls. But they were my leans. I liked them. And then everyone agreed with them, talked me into them. So thank you very much to all the guys who talked me into it. Reggie, T.D. Williams, all those guys who I listened to. Yesterday I would have had 2 leans and non-picks if I had just been on my own devices. So thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah, we got a good thing going here, without doubt. The big note on the comments that I am very excited about has to do with the NHL, and it has to deal with Antti Niemi in goal for the Montreal Canadiens, and that makes that Predators puck line look fucking awesome. So that line's changed quite a bit. But in basketball...
please, the segment is NBA.
Yeah.
Please do not discuss anything but NBA in the NBA segment, Jim. Okay?
Cool. Well, I'm just hitting the live chat.
No, it doesn't matter what's in the live chat. What matters is in the segment. And if the segment says NBA, we're talking NBA, Jim.
Okay, well, then I have nothing to say.
Nothing to say. Okay, yeah. And the Phoenix team total has gotten bet up a little bit. It was 108 on the morning line in the morning show. Now it's up to 108.5 minus 120. I think I'll just hold off because you never really quite know what's going to happen. Maybe without the Greek Freak in there, Milwaukee will come in and be like, we're not going to let these guys run up the score on us, and maybe Phoenix does still cover the 6, but not in a high-scoring game, you know?
Well, Bledsoe is going to have to do a lot of damage offensively, and maybe he wants this opportunity.
And then the Clippers team total has gotten up a little bit. It's now 106.5 minus 117. I'm thinking about the under on that one. What do you think about that one, Jim?
I think
the Clippers have not been scoring recently.
They have not been scoring at all. And when they do score, they score in 5-6 minute bunches and then completely shut down for 5 or 6 minutes. There's problems there, huge problems. Not getting any distribution. It's so different from last year. No easy buckets.
All right, I'll take it. I'll throw that one on there. LA Clippers team total under 106.5 minus 117. That's the line right now at Pinnacle. I will throw that one on there. I was kind of leaning Atlanta, kind of leaning under. I guess that combines the two leans. And if I'm way off on the game, I guess I'll just take one L on that one. The Knicks Raptors game. Do we have anything to say about that one, Jim? Because obviously it's a bounce back spot. I mean, a revenge spot for the Knicks. Team total is 103. I'd be leaning Knicks team total over. If the same problems that plagued them in the first game against the Raptors, are in play here, then the Raptors might be a good bet against the spread, but the Knicks might still cover their team total over. They can score.
They can score, and I would. The Raptors seem to have the Knicks number. We can give them a whole bunch of different looks. We have enough big men to mess with Porzingis as good as any other team really in the league. But the Knicks can score, and they score at home.
Mm-hmm. All right, so definitely the Knicks team total over 103 minus 106 would be a lean for me. Do you have anything about any of the games like the Golden State game that we didn't cover that didn't have overnight lines? Because I still have not been able to look at them because I was all about college basketball in my research today. And
well, Durant is in.
Yes.
And OKC has played quite differently at home. But I think like your feel on the Sixers, Oklahoma City seems to be so tough in the first half and then buckles down the stretch. Will that continue? Will that continue at home? I think Golden State is a nice spot here at -5, and I've been looking at it all day.
Yeah. All right. So again, my lean would be to the Knicks over 103 minus 106, but I guess I will hold off on that one. I mean, they do score at home though, don't they?
They certainly do.
The Knicks can put up some points at home. A point or two here, a point or two there. At home is what they can do. All right, you know what? We still have till the end of this show to give the picks.
Yep.
Let's move on to the big NHL card. Jimmy the Bag and I have given a ton of picks. Jimmy, you have given, I counted them all up, 5 picks with huge underdog lines, and then you also threw on the Rangers-Carolina over with me at -120. Your 5 picks with huge underdog lines: Islanders puck line +195, Vancouver money line +176, Detroit puck line, got a great line there at the Greek, +260. Washington puck line, +214. And Nashville puck line, +150. And I threw on San Jose team total under 3, which I think is a good play there, -135. The Nashville -1 line. Toronto, Florida, first period over. Toronto -1. Islanders -1. Islanders, Philly over. Islanders, Philly, first period over. I'm on you with Vancouver as a big underdog at +176. And I'm also thinking a lot of times these big underdogs can also be good value just on their first period money lines, where it's like, the Vancouver would be like +155 here, but you're getting all the reasons you like them on the full game are in play in the first half, and there's a little bit of randomness thrown into it as well. So I'm thinking that the first period might be also worth a play with Vancouver, and I'm also on the Carolina over and the first period over with Carolina. Jim, let's go and let's check to see what the line moves are. Do you have anything to say about any of the picks you've given?
I do, and I'm going to add one pick as well. But I have to deal with Bet365 with my local, and I couldn't get the Rangers Hurricanes at 5.5. They were only offering it at 6.
That was again, line shopping is what's vitally important here. And I bet this one and I took it. It was at 5.5 -120 at Pinnacle. At Heritage. Now it's up to 6 at Heritage, and it's 6 market wide. But actually way after our show, it was still 5.5 -120 at Heritage. So that was not in any way a stale line. That was just Heritage hanging off market line, which Jim and I took advantage of. It is now 6 market wide.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was disappointed that I couldn't add that into my own personal action, but I let that go. And I am so excited about the hockey card with these giant numbers. It's just, this is so much fun. And I couldn't believe I got plus 260 on the Wings. I mean, that's just outrageous. And you're right, the number that the Canucks are giving is nuts. I am adding the Las Vegas Golden Knights at Ducks under 6.
Okay.
I've been watching the Ducks play, and they're allowing a ton of shots from the perimeter, and Gibson's been standing on his head. And the backup, also Barrett, came in and looked great. I think that the Golden Knights, who are the second highest scoring team in the Western Conference, I do not believe they will continue this, but they're rolling 4 lines, and they take the 3rd least penalties in the league. If you roll 4 lines and you don't have that much talent, and you take the 3rd least penalties in the game, shouldn't the goal scoring slowly come down? I'm thinking that it will slowly come down. Maxime Legace is starting to look like an NHL goalie. They had Vegas has had 2 days of rest in LA. Will that help or hurt? They seem, I mean, they live in Vegas, so they can't be too crazy about LA. But the Ducks have received a big jolt with Cam Fowler back in the lineup, and I like getting this number 6.
Yeah, okay, so line shopping. Best line is 6 minus 107 at betonlinesportsbetting.ag. Under 6 minus 107, Vegas and Anaheim under. Nice breakdown there, Jim. I kind of agree with what you're saying. Yeah, Anaheim has been great with Gibson in goal. Okay, let's look at some of the. Let's see if any of these line moves. Yeah, the Vancouver line has not moved at all. Has barely moved since the morning. I actually looked over the NHL. There hasn't been a ton of line movement any which way. Toronto is still roughly where they were in the morning. Actually, slight money has come in on Florida. I took Toronto -1. When I took it, I think the money line was -116. It's now down to about, Pinnacle has -110. I guess that's slightly concerning. Is that concerning? Money's coming in on Florida. Why would that be, Jim?
You know, I expected a lot more from Florida this year. And I do think any Leafs backers are getting a really nice line. And I almost am getting the deja vu of not taking the Blues yesterday. In saying all that, I'm a believer in this Panthers team, and I know Luongo very well. I know when he gets hot. He certainly is hot right now, and he's not someone who stays hot all year. I just think that the Panthers will get better and better because they're already good offensively, and they were terrible defensively and terrible on the penalty kill. Their penalty killing numbers are getting better. Their defensive numbers are getting better. Luongo's hot. It kind of feels like a perfect storm for the Panthers to win a game against a better team like the Leafs.
So it sounds like then that you would also disagree with my first period overplay, 1.5 minus 118 that I gave.
Only because Frederik Andersen and Luongo are playing so well. But if you're just looking at these two offenses, you've got 2 excellent offenses that you're counting on. So I definitely wouldn't bet against you.
All right, right. Okay, any other moves? Interestingly, we were wondering about Buffalo as a home dog and Arizona as a home dog. The Arizona line was about -123 on during the morning show. It's now gotten bet down a little bit, down to a +117. And we were wondering about Buffalo. Are they a team that might have some value as a home dog? The market, as of right now, says no. Minnesota's been taking money, although Minnesota took a lot of money against New Jersey, and they lost that one. Now Buffalo is up to +150 at 5 dimes, 147 at Pinnacle. Buffalo taking some... Got no respect.
And I love that line. It's been all day I've been trying. You know how badly Buffalo bit me early in the year. I think this is a classic case of Buffalo not getting respected. They have lost 6 games in a row. I love it. I absolutely love that line that we're getting. Pinnacle at +147. I mean, that's so juicy for a home dog. I absolutely love the line. And why am I not pulling the trigger? I've got all these huge numbers already, and I love my card. And Buffalo has just bitten me too many times this year. But man, does that look appealing.
It does. What's your take on Minnesota? I mean, Dubnyk, it was just last week that he had 3 straight shutouts. Is your take that was a little bit fluky, or is he legitimately like one of the top whatever goalies in the NHL? You be very careful about betting against him.
He's got to step up, or he could lose that job to Stalock. The backup is playing so well. The backup has much better numbers than him right now. I think Dubnyk is a really good goalie. I wouldn't say he's in the top 10 in the NHL. He's got an excellent defense in front of him, and they're a well-coached team, and they got Gabby coaching them really well. The Wild are a team that's just not getting any secondary scoring. And because they're not getting any secondary scoring, I think Buffalo is the play here. I'm going to I don't know. What do you guys think? I could pull the trigger right here. I really think so. It's just such a big number.
I was also thinking about adding on Vancouver on the first period, doubling up on it a little bit, but I could see them like maybe losing the game but coming out like they did last night and playing well in the first period. What do you think about that?
I think they'll play well in the first period. I don't know who's going to win any faceoffs for these Penguins. Not that Malkin was a good faceoff man, but I don't see how Sheehan is going to help. He's going to have to play big minutes. If they move Guentzel over to center, obviously the reason why he didn't start at center for the last few years was because he's bad at the faceoff circle. He's not a good defensive centerman. I like...
All right, I'm going to add it on there. In my leans, I've been sort of tracking my first period opinions, and in general, they've been pretty good. I will double up on Vancouver. I'm going to take the first period money line, which, of course, if it's 0-0-1-1, it's a push. Vancouver has to win to get a win. It's plus 154 at Bookmaker right now, and I will take that one. Vancouver first period plus 154, doubling up there. Jimmy the Bag.
Yeah, I get it. I completely get where you're thinking at. There's a lot of talk. So Jin Rami says, nah, not Sabres. Big Dad 138 says, I'm agreeing with you on Buffalo. Here, D. Hall says, Buffalo scares me, but that is a good line.
And Dom Ricci says that under seems like the best bet. It has 3-1 written all over it. Yeah, I was thinking that the under has to be. Who's in goal for the for Buffalo again? Is it Lehner?
Lehner is starting tonight.
Yeah, what's your take on him? Is he a guy who can be relied on if you want to take an under to give you a decent performance?
Well, we talked. He is a 903 save percentage this year and a 917 career save percentage. Now, they traded a first-round pick for him, which we all thought was way too much. But I think he's a better goaltender than he's shown so far this year.
Here we go. Jag the Capper says they're coming off a back-to-back, which doesn't bother me. And he says, and Pens are beastly at home. What do you think about that, Jim?
There's no question. They're 6-1-1 at home. The issue is, look who they have down the center of the ice. This was a great spot to bet against them. Now, yeah, the Pens are likely to win this game. That's why we're getting this juicy giant dog number.
Right.
But this is the time to take it.
Yeah, I think you might be absolutely right there, Jim. All right, so if I Big Dad 138 says I'm agreeing with you on Buffalo. Jimmy Dom Ricci says I like Mini. Let's see. Robert Van says Shack and Bag, you guys are the shit. SBR Brass and Management, take note. Yes, happy day all. SBR Brass and Management, take note about Robert Van's comment that you should take note about how we are the shit. Thank you so much, Robert Van. There you go. Comment of the Day award right there for Robert Van. Thank you very much. All right, let's see.
Dom Ricci's come in and said Ice Guys have mini puck line. You know, that's enough for me. I will fade the fucking Ice Guys. I'll fade the fucking Ice Guys. I'm taking Buffalo a plus. I'm getting the plus 147 at Pinnacle.
Yeah, the Ice Guys. That's an SBR show, right?
That is.
Do they track their picks?
You'd have to ask them.
Yeah, do the Ice Guys?
I believe they do. They were definitely in the beginning of the year.
Yeah. Do they track them honestly and religiously?
We'll have to ask these guys.
Yeah, or do they take like way off market lines, or are they like, yeah, my friend offered me a Minnesota puck line plus 400, so I'm on Minnesota puck line minus 1.5 plus 400. You know what I mean? And you go, well, what do you mean? I bet my friend $20 on it. That's the bet I made. That was my bet. I bet it minus 1.5 plus 100. Hell yeah. I'm on Vancouver plus 230 tonight. I'm gonna bet that with my friend. All right, so Ice Guys are nice guys. So Jim, you are gonna take Buffalo then? I
am taking Buffalo at plus 147. Let's get that cake.
Okay, well wait. Let me just maybe it's a better or worse line.
Sure.
See, this is how friggin' up to the second we are. Let's see. Best line right now, as of right now, NHL Buffalo line shopping. Absolute up to the minute lines. Yes, nothing exciting. Plus 147. It's still 147. All right, Jim's gonna take Buffalo money line plus 147.
And we're just teasing the Ice Guys, man. They're great people.
Absolutely.
And a lot of guys are saying good. The Ice Guys are 40 and 34 on their best bets.
Really? 40 and 34 on their best bets?
Yeah, and then in hockey's a real tough sport. So
40 and 34 on their best bets with an average line of what, minus 150? Or see, we track the average lines. We track the ROI. We track the units plus and minus. This is what we do. Right?
This is what we do.
And we make jokes and funny faces and we spaz out. No, I'm just saying, especially in, like if you're talking about like NBA or whatever, you can assume that 40 and 32 means at minus 110 lines. But in NHL, you definitely can't. Could go the other way. It could be 40 and 32 on friggin' puck lines, which is phenomenally awesome, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And one thing that's changed in my gambling, sitting beside the legend Pete Loshak, is that I'm now looking at cards and I've got plus numbers littered fucking everywhere, and that's where my gambling has improved.
Yes. You have you're plus in everything now. Thankfully, because last night we had a good day. All right, so let's look at that. Let's finish this up here. Is there anything else we want to add on here as of right now? Jim, you have added Vegas Anaheim under 6 minus 107 and the Buffalo money line plus 147, and I have added the Vancouver first period line at plus 154. I know that Pittsburgh is freaking beastly at home, but it just feels like this is the spot where you want to time, a less than usual excellent performance from them at home, right? Or is that?
I think you're absolutely right. We know, okay, if this was the first round of the playoffs, obviously we'd be very afraid of the Pens.
Yeah.
But it's early in the year. They're going to have trouble winning faceoffs. Now, there was a great note saying that Crosby always steps up in Malkin's absence. He certainly does.
Yeah.
But you know who falls off? It's Phil Kessel, right? So, I mean, there's give and take. So, I mean, we'll see.
I'm starting to get nervous. I'm starting to worry that I might be eating 2 negative units here on this Vancouver play. But, whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, if there was a time to take the Canucks against the Penguins, it's tonight.
We shall see. We shall certainly see. All right, Jim, anything else you want to add on here?
I really liked your bet on the Sharks team total under.
Oh, you want that one?
You know what? I've been thinking about it, and I'm going to lay off of it.
Okay.
But I think that was a very good bet. And my thinking is there's no way that they can score 4 goals.
Well, I mean, there's a way.
Not there is with an empty net help.
Right.
But really, I've been watching this team closely. And until Lil Joe starts playing better, if they only have that Couture line going, but my fear is that the Sharks are under so much pressure at home. I know they only have 50 or 60,000 fans in the whole Bay Area, but they're going to get on the road, feel good about themselves, get in the dressing room, hang out, get in the hotel, hang out, and then look across the way at this Coyotes team that might be drinking their juice after 3 straight wins and play better.
Yeah, I mean, it was a few years ago. I don't remember exactly which year, but there was one year where the Sharks were just one of the worst teams in hockey at home and one of the best on the road. So, yeah. All right, so is there anything else that you want to add on here, Jim?
No, for hockey, that will fill up my my slate.
All right, my other leans were, none of my other leans were anything except for like the Minnesota under and the San Jose Arizona under. But I will pass.
I had a lean all day on the Stars Avalanche over, and I ended up kind of moving away from it just because I can't trust the Stars. But the Stars have some interesting numbers. There's some interesting numbers. So this is a pick'em in most spots for the sides. The Avs are 6-0-1 at the Pepsi Center this year. Their only home loss was in Sweden. And Jonathan Bernier will be in goal because Varlamov is sick. And Bernier is a guy I don't trust. He's got a 3.59 goals against average, 886 save percent. And we talk about not trusting teams. The Stars, I don't think, have a lot of heart. And they're 1-4-0 on the second half of back-to-backs. They're 3-7-1 on the road. Nathan McKinnon is red hot, 17 points in his last 9 games. He was the 3rd NHL Star of the Week. When I went over these numbers, 1, I liked Avalanche, and 2, I liked the over. But these teams, I just can't trust right now. But those were 2 big leans that I've had all day.
Yes. All right. So a lot of interesting comments here. Yeah, we were just people really appreciating the going head to head with the Ice Guys. Yeah, we love the Ice Guys. But listen, I go for the jokes where the jokes are, and don't blame me if there's a joke hanging there and I swing at it. And absolutely. All right. So let's move on. A lot of let's see other comments here. This appear here says Sharks going to win tonight. Streaks coming to an end in Arizona. Lee Davis says 81% on San Jose money line. line. Okay. But then who's the other guy? Another guy who knows his hockey says that, I can't remember who it was, but he says that, Jay the Jag the Capper, San Jose is slow as shit, which is absolutely true. Let's see. Jag the Capper says we should have a fatal four-way. 2 of the ice guys against Loshak and the Bag. Yeah, we should do that at some point. We should have me and Jimmy the Bag go up against some kind of other cappers at SBR. We will dominate those guys. I guarantee you. We will dominate those guys. All right, let's see. Okay, let's see. All right, so let's move on, okay? Shall we?
Let's do it.
All right, next on the agenda is Jim's NFL plays. Now, Jim wanted to make sure that he locked in some NFL picks for tomorrow from tomorrow's odds. What do you want to give us for the NFL, Jim?
I'm taking the Vikings over the Lions, taking the spread. The Vikings, they just don't get the respect they deserve because of Case Keenum. People act like they win games despite Case Keenum. They're a top NFC team. They're the complete package. 5 Pro Bowlers on defense. Great front 7. Good secondary. Their O-line was so good that they cut Alex Boone. I just think they're the complete package, and I like them tomorrow.
All right, the best line right now, again, we use absolutely up to the second lines, -3 plus 106.
Love it.
-3 plus 106. That's the line right now at Pinnacle. What else do you want to hit us with, Jimmy the Bag?
My best bet in the Beat the Bag contest, and I've hit 5 straight best bets.
No shit.
5 straight best bets, 5 straight positive weeks. I'm plus 8 units in the Beat the Bag competition. I'm 102nd place in the Beat the Bag contest.
Oh, that's not very good. But the five
out of 624 people.
That's right. That is.
102nd place.
You hit your best bet 5 weeks in a row.
5 weeks in a row.
Nice
I've hit my
job.
best bet 5 weeks in a row plus units. This past week I went 4-1, up 5 units.
Very nicely done, Jim. Jim the Bag. All right. Let's see if you can make it 6 in a row. What's your best bet this week?
The Los Angeles Chargers over the Cowboys. This is classic Loshak, low-hanging fruit. Sean Lee is out and Zeke is out, and they're fucked. Tyron Smith might be back, but he won't be 100%. Without Tyron Smith in the lineup, we saw what happens. Claiborne got 6 sacks. He's going to have to go up against Bosa and Ingram, and they are mean. They are tough, and they are excellent. And what we are seeing is we're seeing Dak Prescott without the best running back in the league, without the best O-line in the league. And guess what he is, everybody? He's below average. He's simply a game manager. The Chargers are a good team. They'll take a run at the Chiefs for the division title. And I think this is too fucking easy.
All right. Well, once again, we do line shop here, and there is uncertainty market-wide. It's all the way around from -1 up to -2.5. Pinnacle has 2.5 -105, but Heritage has -1 -120, so we can give you that one if you want.
Sure. Can you hit me with that one more time?
Pinnacle has 2.5 -105. Heritage has -1 -120.
Okay, I will take -1.
Or you could take Chargers or you could at the Greek -2 -110. What's that word?
I will take -1 at -120.
Okay, Chargers -1 -120. That is a line right now at Heritage. All right, Jimmy the Bag, nice job. And then the Giants Washington game. You want to pick for that one or no?
I'm not putting an official pick on that game, although I can talk about it if you. Absolutely.
No, we got to move on to college basketball.
Okay, I'm not taking an official pick on that game, but I don't trust the Giants in any way, shape, or form. I don't think that a speech by Eli Manning and an open meeting by fucking Macadont is going to do a fucking thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other NFL picks before we move on?
No, just hammering Thursday. We'll do our NFL picks on Friday.
Okay, college basketball. Moving on to college basketball. Jim and I are both officially right now up, barely, but we are up, and there are a bunch of picks that I did already tweet out of the 7 o'clock games. Well, the big game tonight is of course the Wichita State Notre Dame game, and I am not going to be betting that. I don't want to bet against either of those teams. As awesome as Wichita State is, Notre Dame is very, very impressive. You're getting 3 points. Last time I checked, I think the total's dead on as well. It's a pass for me. I'm not going to touch that one at all.
I'm with you completely. I wanted to. It's such an exciting game. I mean, these are two teams that are going to be monsters in the tournament later in the year. I love Matt Farrell. Love Bonzi Collins. They will be difficult to deal with. And the Shockers have a lot of different weapons to deal with them. But I think the line's bang on, and I was trying so hard to pick a side, and it's extremely difficult.
That's what I did as well. I was staring at it. You know those like optical illusions where it's like an elephant, but you can't see it unless you stare at it for 10 minutes. You know that shit. I was staring at that line, and I was staring at it, and after 10 minutes, I was like, "Fuck this! I'm not touching this game, man."
It's exactly the same, and I mean, these are two great teams, and two teams loaded with older players. They're going to be. I can't wait to watch it. I'm going to learn from it, but just very, very tough.
Yeah, that was a nice little joke there. What do you think, right? Jim is staring at the elephant, trying to find it, and it's like staring at the lines, trying to find an edge. All right, in the game tonight that I did look at, of course, I liked Towson yesterday, and that turned out to be a winner. Thanks for everyone who's also on it with me. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the game tonight because the game against Georgia Southern, it looks like Towson would be the right side again, but it's a suspiciously low line, and it's moving in Georgia Southern's favor. When we started the show, it was about -1. Now it's all the way down to a pick 'em at a few places. Seems to me like Towson would once again be the play here. Georgia Southern, Towson, rotates a few more guys. Their overall year numbers look a little bit better than Georgia Southern's, and I'm not exactly, unless someone's out. Again, this is like one thing I did not have time to look into in depth, see if someone's out for Towson, which is entirely possible, but and which would definitely explain the line movement. But seems like Towson would be once again a pretty decent play. Why not?
Yeah, it does seem like Towson is a good spot. I just need more time to study some of these smaller schools. It's so early in the year, and I'm not gonna hammer a whole bunch of different picks at this point.
Right.
Out of fear.
Which I definitely have. I have hammered a whole bunch of different picks at this point. Other bets that I or other leans that I have, definitely leaning once again another under in a Cincinnati game. The Cincinnati games have gone roughly into the around 140. This total is a few points higher than that, and Wyoming is not necessarily the kind of team that can force the issue with Cincinnati. So I would have a lean to the under 144 on that one, and maybe a slight lean to the over in Belmont and Providence. Providence, of course, has a deep rotation, and Belmont has some great outside shooters, so that game could easily get over the relatively high total of 151, 150 and a half at Pinnacle right now. The Toledo-Syracuse game is interesting. I've been leaning under in Syracuse games this year. I think I gave one as an official pick as well, which cashed. This one is a little bit borderline. It's headed up a little bit, but a slight lean to the under in that one at 144 and a half. And what else do we have going on here in today's games? That's about it. The 8 o'clock and later games I did not look at too in depth. If I see anything that I'm liking, I will tweet it out. Although it's definitely not going to be on the Wichita State game because I did look at that one in depth and I'm staying off it. Jim, you have to say anything about college basketball from the card tonight?
Yeah, I think the Marquette spot is pretty nice, and I don't want bias to come in with how bad LSU looked against Notre Dame, and it's pretty hard not to because they look really bad. And Marquette looked really good against Wichita State. I mean, they were in that game. And I'm thinking -4.5, -5 is a good spot. So I'm going to take them. I'm going to add Marquette to my slate.
Okay, let's see. Marquette, best line right now. Shopping. Would be at Pinnacle. Marquette -4.5, -114. You wager 4.5 -110. Jim's going to take Marquette -4.5 -110, courtesy of UWager. UWager.com.eu. Whatever. All right. Okay, UWager 4.5 -110 over LSU. Nice job, Jim the Bag there. What else is and that's about it, huh?
That's it for me. Walter Trotter says I like Belmont tonight too.
Yeah, Belmont. I mean, Belmont's obviously a great team. My only issue is that Providence is like good and deep. So I'm thinking maybe Belmont on the first half, actually, because Providence is a deep team and they have gotten some nice wins this year. I was thinking about Belmont on the first half for sure. And I was also thinking about Wyoming to cover against Cincinnati. Cincinnati blasted Richmond yesterday, but Richmond I think is just not that good. And Wyoming might be able to hang with them certainly as much as Buffalo was able to. So I was definitely leaning Wyoming plus the points there and maybe Wyoming on the first half as well. Does anyone have anything to say about Towson? Why Towson is just pick 'em right now? Find any comments about that, Jim?
Yeah, not yet, but there is some interesting stuff coming in that I dig. My man Max really likes Ole Miss tonight. He also, I know he has Tulane tonight, and he knows his college ball. My man Jason Paglia says he loves Arizona minus 12.5. Jared Schrader comes in, says Arizona with the spread. It's tough. Also, my man Antoine Seymour says, Jimmy and Pete, fuck it, let your nuts hang. Notre Dame money line, and I like Notre Dame a lot. It's just they're going against one of the best teams in the country, and it's tough.
I don't know. I'm not touching that game. I mean, Wichita State is just a team that I just really, really don't want to bet against right now in any capacity. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. Young Jeezy likes Notre Dame plus the points. Bet it in capital letters. You might be right. Jason Paglia says BMOC likes UNLV. That's good enough for me. The guy is a human torch right now. UNLV. Let's see. I know that Big Man is focusing on college basketball and killing it. That is one of the 12:30 a.m. games. They're getting 3 points right now at UNLV, so that might be a great play right there. Let's see. Anything else, Jim?
Delta 75 likes Louisiana Tech at minus 5. I see that. And also with Max's spots, Ole Miss. That line is just getting bigger and bigger by the hour. So I mean, you were on the right. You're definitely on the right side at this point. And Tulane is in a good spot against Miami of Ohio. So I definitely like his definitely like Tulane a lot. But I'm just going to stick with adding Marquette to my card at this point.
Wow, a lot of people liking Notre Dame for some reason. Trung Ku says, I also like Notre Dame. That's kind of, look, Notre Dame's great. It's really hard for me to bet against Wichita State right now, but very, very nice. Someone else asking about the Troy game. That is very interesting. I would probably be leaning Troy there at +3. Of course, both these teams played Connecticut, and Troy played them a little bit better. I would definitely be leaning Troy at +3, and that would actually be a pretty reasonable lean there. I don't know if I'm going to give it. It's actually 3.5 at a bunch of places, Heritage and the Greek as well. I'm not going to give that one, but definitely leaning Troy +3.5 for sure. And maybe I will give Wyoming. Maybe I'll throw on a couple of these first half plays. Let me just quickly go over to the first half screen that I got going on here. First half screen. Let me find these college basketball. Yeah, Belmont first half +5.5 against Providence. Very tempting. Wyoming first half +6.5 against Cincinnati, or the full game. There was a comment that Georgia Southern is pretty good, which they certainly are. I was just thinking that at a pick'em line, Towson might be the play. And let's see. You know what? I will throw on Wyoming plus the points. +12 -110 at Bookmaker, Heritage, and BetDSI. Other places have 11.5.
Big Man on Campus comes in. Respect. Thanks for joining us. Says the only other play I considered beside the two I'm on was Wyoming +12.
There you go. The man is a human torch, and I'm a little flicker of heat coming off that torch. All right, there we go. Wyoming. Where the fuck is my thing? Wyoming +12 -110. Is Big Man on there right now?
Yeah.
Ask Big Man if he has any opinion on. He probably just just gives the picks that he likes, and on the games that he doesn't like, doesn't have an opinion. But Towson, is Towson not a good bet against Georgia Southern? I know Georgia Southern's a good bet, but at pick'em, seems like Towson would have a little bit of a friggin' value.
Yeah.
Human torch. You have any opinion on Towson versus Georgia Southern?
Yeah, Easton Shirtlift says, don't sleep on Georgia Southern, Pete.
I know. I'm not sleeping on Georgia Southern. I'm saying that at pick'em I take Towson, right? Is that not true?
No, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of guys on UNLV tonight playing at home in the finals of that tournament in Vegas. First Utah, and as a slight dog.
Well, if Big Man loves it, then I will certainly be looking at that one hard. I just definitely did not look into that one at all. But I will add Wyoming +12 -110. All right, should we wrap it up, or are there any other comments?
Angel Romero makes me feel better about my Marquette call. He says I'm also pretty big on Marquette and going to try and double up with first half as well. Nice spot. And so yes, Big Man on Campus says like Towson. Yes, Peter. He likes Towson.
But maybe he's just like, let me sucker this idiot into taking a fucking play.
No way.
Let's let him throw a freaking loss on his.
Big man on campus. He wants us to be winners.
It would be funny, but it would also be mean. But it would also be funny. I mean, I admit it. I can appreciate a good joke even if it's mean and even if it's at my expense.
No
you
way.
think he's fucking with me?
No, I don't. I think he wants you to be a winner.
All right, let me just think about this for a second. Jim, scan the comments while I take about 10 seconds to make a decision here on
Well, Ace Farmer wants to know if we like the Florida-Toronto over 6 in hockey. You know,
I did take the first. That's one of my official picks. The first period over 1.5.
Yeah.
Not the over 6 though on the full game.
Yeah, and the reason why we were there was trepidation in that move was just because of how hot Luongo is and how hot Anderson is. Mm-hmm. They're both hot. Yes, the Coyotes put 4 goals behind Anderson, but he had back-to-back shutouts before that. And in that 6-0 win against Montreal was carrying the play a lot of the times, and Frederik Anderson looked very good. Sasana says, Ace Farmer, do it. So, you know. And Angel Romero says, Pete, double up from last night with Towson. I followed you on that one. Thanks.
All right. It just makes me concerned that the line is moving in Georgia Southern's favor. But then again, how many times do we have to say these line moves don't mean shit? They don't mean dick.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. It seems like they're wrong more than they're right, but sometimes they're definitely right. Okay, I will throw that one on there, and I will use the Greek line, which is Pick'em -110, and Intertops.eu, offering us right now the best line on Towson at Pick'em -110 along with the Greek. All right, so I am adding both Wyoming and Towson to my official college basketball slate of games. And can we move on, Jin?
We can, but our man Walter Trotter says, I love this show. Me and my brother-in-law have been watching SBR for about a year, and we are way better people because of this show.
There you go. Walter Trotter, thank you so much. Thank you so
Walter.
much. And yes, thank you so much. SBR Brass, SBR ownership, please take note, right? These aren't paid shills coming on that we pay them to make positive comments. These are real people with real opinions. We're touching lives.
Trunku says, Pete's very funny. Jack the Capper says, Pete is hilarious.
Thank you very much. A lot of suffering that went into fucking making me like this. Absolutely, trust me.
Big Man on Campus says, Towson will own the offensive glass. Mm-hmm. Great pick and roll defense, which is what Georgia Southern likes to run.
He said Towson's, that's Big Man.
That's Big Man.
Big Man does know his fucking shit.
He does.
He knows his shit. The motherfuckers, he's like you. He does research.
Yeah.
He fucking does. I'm more of a numbers guy. The Big Man does research.
Yeah.
He knows about like pick and rolls and the schemes and the coaches and here and there and like, you know, some stadium in Philadelphia that's really important to the people who play there and all that shit. He knows that shit. Not an accident that he's doing so well in college basketball this year. That's for sure. What? What's so funny?
Oh, these guys are hilarious.
What are they saying?
Oh, man. Jason Paglia says, I'm sending you guys stocking stuffers filled with sleuths.
Oh, nice.
Man, this is great. Trunku says, Human Torch and Flicker of Heat and Banging Bag. Mm-hmm. How do you guys like your new names?
Wait, where? Wait, what? Wait.
Ultra Crispy wants to see your smoke pot imitation. I don't think I've seen that.
You've never seen that? No. I mean, I don't know if it's like I have to. It's so hard for me to do things I don't want to do, which is part of like why I've suffered so much in life, part of what's good, and I just can't. I don't know if I can do the impression right now. I just can't.
Hey man,
it's not inside of me right now.
Don't worry, we got lots of chances.
Yeah, we
lots
have
of chances.
And someday I'll also do another one that used to be popular among my friends, which is my impression of a person on the nod on heroin.
Oh,
nice! I do a pretty good impression of a person on the nod on heroin.
You know, we don't talk about heroin enough on this show.
Not only did my friends like it, but some people that they knew who were actually heroin addicts also were laughing when I would do my impression of them. All right, so
do you need a belt for this impression?
No, it's not that. No. Okay. It's a very nuanced impression. All right, so shall we wrap things up, Jimmy the Bag?
Big Man on Campus, another note. Wyoming is a bad matchup defensively for Cincy. Wyoming has great length, bad for Cincy. Wyoming must not turn the ball over. If they don't and can play in half court, they'll cover.
There you go. Big Man on Campus knows his shit. His record's like 52-20 or something like that in college basketball this year.
Man.
And college basketball, like if you do your research in college basketball, you can beat these lines. You can beat these lines like that. College basketball is one of those sports where, like, if you know what you're talking about, like a 57, 58% winning percentage long term is actually attainable and not, you know, not due to random and variance.
Absolutely,
you know? Yeah.
Absolutely. There's advantages to be had. Dom Ricci from Long Island. Shout out to everyone from Long Island. Says, Pete, you know the nod because you're from New York.
Yeah, I mean, you see everything in New York, But all right. So, shall we wrap things up, Jim?
Absolutely. Big Man on Campus is 37-13.
There you go. Wow. Yeah. But listen, if you do your research and you and you know what you're talking about, it is certainly very doable. So because these lines are soft. And they're admittedly soft, and the bookmakers are just, trying to, cover their asses with the huge slate of games and not get burned too badly, which is why the betting limits tend to be very much lower, which is, so if you're if you're looking to get down, $10,000 on these games, you're probably not watching this show. But if you're looking, if the betting limits are higher than your average bet size, college basketball is great.
Yeah.
Great for that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so shall we wrap things up?
We shall wrap things up.
All right, the picks that Jim and I have added on. Jim has added on Vegas Anaheim under 6 -107, Buffalo money line plus 147, in NFL Vikings -3 plus 106, and the Chargers -1 -120, and in college basketball Marquette -4.5 -110. I have added in NBA Clippers team total under 106.5 -117, Vancouver first period plus 154, making me a little bit nervous because of course Pittsburgh is good at home and they do tend to step it up when Malkin is out, but I'm going to take it. And fortified by endorsements from Big Man on Campus, 37-13 in college basketball, unbelievable record. Wyoming plus 12 -110, Towson Pick'em -110, and those are both Big Man on Campus endorsed opinions and picks and bets. Jimmy the Bag. Let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern time covering the Thursday card, which will have college basketball, but no hockey, no NBA, and one college football game and 3 NFL games. Right, Jim?
Yeah, man. Maybe some heroin impressions, maybe some weed impressions.
Hopefully, we will be relaxed, and if I get my research done in time, maybe I'll give some college football plays on the Friday card. That's right. That's my goal. That's my goal. Unless I fall asleep. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for all the positive comments. You guys don't understand how much that means to us. We show it to the the higher ups here at SBR, and I demand respect when I see I say, look at these comments. You respect me, goddammit. You respect me, okay? And usually it does sway them a little bit. So thanks so much for all the comments. We'll be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern time. Sportsbookreview.com.